friends, Chris here from Design Co. And I thought I would do something different. I'd take you along on my day with me. You could just tag along as I go to the booth today to go drop off some items and do a little refresh. This morning I need to get a few items ready. I haven't really prepped anything new to bring in, but I have tons of stuff. I just haven't gotten it all packed up yet. So I'm gonna do a little bit of pricing and stuff this morning. And it is rainy here today, so this might not have been the best day to decide to do this video. Hopefully the rain clears up and I don't just get soaking wet. I'm trying to make my bed, but the dog is like hiding under there because she is terrified of the thunder. So I'm gonna get my room cleaned up and I'm gonna head downstairs, make some coffee, have some breakfast, and then start prepping some items to bring to the vintage booth today. So let's go. I can't wait to take you guys along for the ride. Okay, I love videos where people share their coffee making in the morning because I always like seeing how other people make their coffee. So I'm gonna make my coffee. So I am very basic. Lately, I've been just using a glass jar with a lid. I really like having a lid because despite my best attempts, we have flies in our house. So I've lost track of how many cups of coffee I've lost to a bug landing in my coffee, which is absolutely disgusting. So I ran out of coffee. I've been drinking cold brew and I ran out last night, so I had to go to the store. I've never bought this brand. Well, I mean, it's Target. I've never brought like they're specifically cold brewed. So I'm gonna give that a try. And then, so what I've been doing lately is a little bit of heavy whipping cream because I do like my coffee, especially my cold brew. I like it very creamy, but I don't need it like super sweet either. So then I kind of mix this Chobani. If you've never tried sweet cream and any creamer flavor, sweet cream is my absolute favorite. Heavy whipping cream and then just a little bit of the flavor. I always think it's too much, but there's ice cubes in there too. All right, and I love the jar, so I can give it a good shake. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. That's strong coffee. I like it. I like it strong. All right, time for breakfast and a little bit of devotions. I'll see you guys in a little bit. One of my favorite things is being a little bit nosy and looking at the inside of other people's homes on social media and on YouTube. And I thought I would do the same for you here. I gave you guys a little peek at my kitchen in the last little clip. And then here is my dining room. When I applied for my vintage booth, I had to show an example of something I had done before selling vintage, what a display would look like. And because I'd never done anything like that before, I decided to take everything off of that hutch behind me and set it up as if that were a display. So that was kind of fun and a good way to showcase what your style is. This morning, I need to take a little bit of time and tidy up the kitchen. It's not too bad, but we have some things that just got left out and need to be cleaned up and put away. So I'm gonna take a few minutes and do that. I really like our kitchen. I have to remind myself sometimes of how far we've come. This is a picture of what this kitchen looked like 5 years ago when we moved in. Full of upper cupboards and lower cupboards, and Keith asked if I would just pause and not do any work in here and we could live in it for a little while, and that lasted about a week before I ripped those cupboards out while he was at work one day. I didn't realize what a mess it would be. Once we took the cupboards out, I didn't realize that they were actually glued to the wall, so they left huge holes in the wall behind. So as a solution, we decided to put up vertical shiplap, and I absolutely love it. I could not be happier with how it turned out. Then I had Keith build some floating shelves, and that's where we display the majority of our dishes. And then about a year or so later, he made this beautiful handcrafted hood vent for us that is such a showstopper. I love the way that it just makes the space feel warm and cozy and brings some warmth and texture to the room as well. It's such a beautiful showpiece. Is so talented, and I'm always amazed at what a beautiful job he does when he does his woodworking and gets creative. We also painted all the lower cabinets, and somewhere down the line we'll end up replacing these black countertops. They're not my favorite, but they work fine for now and we have no issue with them. But everything takes time and everything happens in its own season. And I am still so happy with how far we've come from original full kitchen full of cabinets, and just laughing when I took them down and saw that the walls were painted red behind them. I couldn't imagine a red kitchen. I love this bright, clean, open feeling of our kitchen. It's just becoming more and more like home with every project that we do. It feels like it's just our space. All right, so I need your help. I've been meaning to ask you guys. So I found this huge vessel at the thrift store a couple weeks ago, and I don't know, I think I paid $8 for it, which I felt like was a really good price. I didn't look it up at all. I just really was drawn to it and I thought it was really beautiful. Obviously it's a new item, which is not norm for me, right? But I was really intrigued. I just thought it was really stunning. Okay, here's the kicker. It was a candle, like a massive candle. But there is still some wax inside and I'm not sure how to get it out. Okay, so I did do a little bit of I Google Lensed it when I got home, and this was a giant Anthropologie candle. So I think the candle brand new was like $70, which is incredible. I couldn't imagine, but it is stunning. Okay, so if I want to clean it out, I know one option is to put it in a pan with some water in it and then put this in the pan so this will heat up around the edge. But my only hesitation with that is we had already had an incident with wax and my cast iron skillet, and I got a thin layer of wax covering my entire cast iron skillet and it ruined my skillet, with the exception, unless I wanted to take a sander to it and sand the wax off, because that's a porous metal. I just didn't feel confident. So my only other thought was just to get a trash pan from another thrift store, the one that I intend on throwing away that I can just use just for this, and then I can melt this and then just pour it out. So that's an option, but I don't know if it'll get it all the way clean, but definitely looking for suggestions. And then what do you think this would be cool to be used for? I really like it for a centerpiece. I feel like you could use it as a fruit bowl or something. I also think it could be kind of cool to make a moss bowl out of. I don't know, what do you think? The lumpy little moss things. I don't know, I've seen those before, but I thought this was so pretty. I gotta show you guys again. Isn't that cute? And it goes in my house so well. So I do think I'm gonna keep this because I like it. And I think it was a good find. I take the time to inventory all my items for my vintage booth. I know this isn't necessary, but I feel like it really helps with record keeping for tax purposes, but then also I like tracking what is selling and keeping good records so I know what to buy in the future and what not to buy. I find it especially helpful because I do get a registry at the end of every month showing what I sold in the booth. But how the business decides to describe the item that sold and how I describe it aren't always the same. And sometimes their description can be a bit vague. So having the combination of the two items to look at, I have a clear idea of exactly what sold. And then I can look back through the month and through the years and see what items I'm selling the best and what items just aren't really profitable for me, and to avoid purchasing again in the future. So once I have everything in my computer and I have it inventoried, and then I put the price that I purchased for it in here, and then the price that I plan on selling it, that's, I have all that set. And then I go ahead and I start tagging. So I tag things differently. Some things get stickers and some things get actual tags. So I have a bunch of pillows that I'm doing today, and I have a throw blanket. Those items will all get tags. And one of the things that I purchased for my vendor business, and I'm so excited, like one of my favorite purchases, is I bought a stamp. And it's like a rubber stamp, and the girl who made it for me was able to put my logo on it. And then I even have, it's kind of hard to see on the screen here, and we did make it really small, but it has my vendor number on it, and then it says item number, so I can put the item number behind there, and then it says price, and I can put the price there. And then it gives a spot right here for me to write a description. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fill this out based on what I've already put in here, and then I can use, I have some pins and some twine, and I'll get these all tagged up. The time to have with my personal logo on it may seem extra or unnecessary, but it really does benefit me and my customer and the mall that I'm part of. It's beneficial to me because then if one of my items gets misplaced, gets put in somebody else's booth, I know very clearly that it belongs to me, and so does that other vendor. It's helpful to the vintage mall that I'm a part of, because then if the product doesn't look like something I would sell but has my price tag on it, they might know to stop and to just to double check that this actually is my product and that a price tag didn't get swapped. It's also helpful for my customers, because customers who like my style and the items I sell will begin to learn my logo and my branding, and they'll come back to my booth again and again because they'll be able to distinguish what is mine from what is someone else's. So the rest of the items that I price, I use my Nimbit printer. It has an app on my phone that I go ahead and I made these labels, and I was able to put my logo on there. And then just like my stamp, I have like categories that I fill in. And so I have the description, I have my vendor number, I have my item number, and I have my price. So I already made these tags and printed them off. And then these ones, these stickers are a little bit big. So I actually have like 2 labels on each sticker, so you can see there. And I just cut it in half. So I'm gonna get these priced, and then I will be able to get them in my little wagon, and I'm gonna get loaded up, and I'm gonna go drop these items off at the booth. Right, I'm all loaded up and ready to go. You guys, I got this from Aldi this summer. I cannot recommend this enough. If they have it for sale again next summer, grab it if you've been wanting a wagon. The price was great. The 3 things I like about it, well, 2 things I like about it are the handle. Look at the handle automatically like goes back up, versus like the other ones, like the really expensive name brand ones, the handles flop down. No bueno. And then the handle also extends, so I can do that. But when I have the handle down, it fits in my trunk just like this. So I literally load it up, and then I pick it up and I push it into my trunk. It's fantastic. It was the best purchase. Highly recommend. If you come in for a visit, my booth is upstairs on the upper level down the middle aisle, right at about the center of the middle aisle. while I do a little bit of tidying up, I thought I would answer some common questions that I get asked as a vintage booth owner. One of them is, what is the best price point that I found that sells the best for my vintage booth? I would answer this by saying have a variety of price points. You don't want to stick to one specific price point. You want to have a good variety. So the way I look at it is I have items that I would price between just a few dollars and maybe $25 or $30. And then I would have another price point that's between that $25, $30 mark and probably $60. And then I would have another price point between 60 and 85 and then 85 and higher. And I like to split those equally, but I definitely lean with the bulk of my items priced below the $25 to $30 mark. Those items are easily sellable. They sell much quicker, but the best price point is items under $8 seem to sell very well. A whole lot of thought doesn't go into the customer's mind when they're considering if they're going to buy an item under $8. It's just very easy. It's kind of like going to the dollar section at Target. Before you know it, you put 5 items in your cart from the dollar section and you don't even realize that those items add up. And so they're very beneficial to you as the seller, but they don't take a whole lot of consideration from the buyer. So I would definitely make sure that your price point leans heavy in the under $25 mark. The next one is less of a question and more of a comment that I've heard a few different times. And it's that the draw of having a booth in a vintage mall is that the mall already does its own marketing. And so all you have to do is come in, drop your items off, and they will just do all the work of marketing and selling the items for you. And this is not entirely true. You do need to take some ownership in doing your own marketing. And what that looks like is probably having a social media page, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, something like that, as a way to engage your customers, to encourage repeat buyers, but then also being very active on Facebook Marketplace to show your items to customers who are not physically walking into the store, to maybe introduce customers who've never even heard of your vintage mall to the store is very beneficial for your business. There is a direct correlation between my booth and some of the vendors that I've had conversations with how often they post items to Facebook Marketplace and the sales that they get in those consecutive days. So do not depend on your mall to do all of the marketing for you. You will also have to put in some legwork and some time to do outside marketing for your business. So I was pretty happy with how my booth was looking, but at the last minute, I decided to do some rearranging and I felt like I needed to just really change some things up. So I moved these 2 bookcases to just try to change the flow of traffic that was going to walk through my booth. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. But after I did all this moving, you can see that I kind of thought I was done with the space and I was getting ready to leave. And if you look at my little booth tour in a second here, you can see that I made another change and I created a couple little vignettes that I was really happy with the comforters and the throw pillows that I have. I think it turned out so cute. I think it's going to be just what I need to get some recurring visitors to come back into my booth, thinking that some new things have happened, and to showcase some items that have been sitting kind of tucked away for a while. all done for the day. Everything is set up. I did a little bit of rearranging. Looks so cute. I'm so happy I took the time to move some things around and just freshen up the space. But now it's time to go home and hang out with the girls. All right, so did a little booth tour for you guys. I did a lot of like rearranging. Well, not a lot. I moved some furniture, which I consider like a big rearrange. Just to make things look a little different. My booth, my sales were not great last month, which I kind of expect for the summer. I was kind of like warned, like summer months aren't necessarily the best, but it seems like mine may have been a little slower than other people's. And so trying to help myself out and make things look fresh and new. So make things look different. And so even though I didn't bring in a lot of new inventory, things look different. So then it kind of draws people's attention, like, oh, something's different in here. So I think moving my bookcases, and I really like the way they are. And then I even kind of created a couple little, like, I guess you could call them vignettes. Like I have some comforters and pillows and different things, and I grouped them together that they like look really nice. And then I put a couple decor pieces in there. So like one was perfect for like a little boy's room with that little sports picture and a truck. And then I had like a beige pillow and a blue comforter and a green pillow. And so it kind of like, oh, hey, look, I wanted to do a little boy room refresh. Like here's like a lot of what I would need to do it. Like so just kind of like giving a visual for the shopper. So that's kind of fun. So I think kind of pulling things together in a different way made it look very nice. It was exactly what I wanted to do. So I'm very happy with how that looks. So going home now to go hang out with the girls, and actually I think I'm gonna pick up my girls. Okay, so my middle daughter, my 13-year-old, is buying a bird. Her dad said yes. I'm not mad about it because I kind of want a bird. I had a bird growing up, and my mom bred birds when I was growing up, and I always feel like I'm going to say the wrong name. I think it's a cockatiel. And that's what my mom bred, and that's what I had. And so she already has her bird picked out. It's just not fully weaned yet, so it can't leave. They're still feeding it baby food. So I think we're gonna go visit her baby bird, and I'll take some pictures and see if I can get some video while we're in there. But sometimes it is very, very, very loud. But I think that's what we're gonna do next. Okay, let's go.
She's like, don't touch me. Wait a second.
Thanks for coming along with me today, you guys. This was so much fun, just being able to take you along on my day as I just did stuff with my kids and getting ready for the booth. If you missed my last video, I am going to start a monthly giveaway this month of a curated collection of vintage items that I plan on giving out to one of my YouTube subscribers. I will put a link below in the description where you can sign up so I can have your email to reach out to whoever it is that wins. It'll be a curated collection of items that I have thrifted throughout the month. So be sure to share with me what your favorite items were that you saw that I had sourced this month. I will use that feedback to create my curated collection that will go home to one of you. Thanks again for coming along with me today, and I can't wait to see you guys next time.